Well, hello there, Lucy.
Oh, well, hello, Miss Trinny.
Now, can you at all consider what closet confessions we might be doing this week?
I mean, my first thought is underwear, but is it something to do with the colour?
It's neutrals, which I was like hoping nobody would choose because I find neutrals a minefield. And yet, as I was doing the rail, I became so excited by what the concept of a neutral is. I mean, I'm feeling slightly Kimmy here. I'm channeling Kim Kardashian, and as much as she might be one of the most divisive of influencers of all time, as many parents of teenage daughters might agree, she knows how to do skin on skin. Now, there is a great breadth of neutral, and I think neutral, is something that feels skin in color on you, and that's a little window for everyone. So nothing is white, but there is some ecru coming in for those very, very, people who are alabaster and porcelain in skin complexion. And then I haven't got like ebony here as a shade because I don't have any brown in my wardrobe, because brown is the color that washes me out because it's not my neutral.
Right, yeah, of course.
Of course. So, Lucy, before we start, darling, you had a challenge for a bit of pink. Think pink.
I went to up the ante and came up with this little pink number.
Gorgeous.
H&M top, trousers are Zara.
And makeup, let's see.
I am wearing Indie on my lips.
Yeah, but I love the little smokiness on your eye.
Strength and chalice on my eyes and a bit of wigs on my cheeks.
Yeah, you are a next level girl, Lucy. Okay, darling, so I'm going to start with my underwear because I saw this at Zara and I thought, when would I ever wear it? Now, today in London, it happens to be so hot that I have literally spent a half day walking around in my underwear. During the summer, we want very nude underwear, and Zara has these, not in enough shades, I have to say, but I think companies that are good at that are like Heist. But, there's certain brands that do nudish underwear according to your nude, meaning the shade in which you were born naked. So I'm going to just now take you through some ideas. How easy do you find it to wear nude?
Oh, really difficult. It's not something I would really go to at all.
And I think I have to say that there's certain people I think look glorious in these wonderful shades. I'm watching at the moment Dirty John, which is on Netflix. It's a series, and the main protagonist, this woman, has this long tumbling blonde hair, peach and creamy skin, and she spends the entire 12-part series in variations of beige and caramel.
So why does it work so well on some people, Trinny?
I think it depends sometimes on your skin tone. So because I'm a rosy olive, but I can be a little washed out when I haven't got anything on, they can wash me out further. So it's really important the makeup I do. So Lucy, I've done neutrals here from Ecru, as you can see on the far right, which is sort of just the softest. That's for an incredibly pale skin. And you might think, my God, that will wash me out. But it could be that with those, you put a shock of a red lip and it looks incredible. And then we move up to the full-on Ecru cream. Interesting thing we're going to talk about with neutrals is adding in texture in the fabric to make them more interesting. We move on to the more stone shades, which really are, to me, for like a sort of darker hair and a cool toned skin. But the idea of metallics, again, to give texture, but a little bit more life. Baby pink. I've included one thing, Lucy, that's baby pink, because, somebody who's got a really light skin that's pink toned, baby pink with soft cream, that's a neutral to me. That can look beautiful. Then we go on to your favorite blouse from Zara. And then I've got some lace, which is exactly the color of my skin. You haven't seen that yet. And then we move on to the sort of camel, and then we get to the dusky rosy shades, and then we get to more salmony, and then we get to browns. So there's a kind of broad reach there.
That whole rail just looks so sophisticated.
That's the word I would use. I mean, that's so it, Lucy, is whenever I see somebody who does, neutrals well, I do think chic. I'm going to actually move on a bit and show you some accessories, Lucy.
Okay.
So I've collected over the years a few. So these are some camel sandals from Zara. I do white with neutrals. I've got these very old shoes on from Bottega Veneta, which is sort of flesh coloured for me. I've got these very old bangles, which are from Dinosaur in Australia and a few other brands. But do you notice I've got mainly sort of neutral shades, and there's a pop. I also thought turquoise with neutral was beautiful. Then gold is good and the leather is good. But these I especially love, Lucy, you know, because, you know, it's just, you see the texture in there, and it's a great opportunity to play with some interesting jewellery. Outfit number one is actually, I've just got from Zara in the last couple of weeks. I got this top, it's in the store now, and a skirt. And this is really the sort of palest of the neutrals, Lucy. This is about texture. So what I kind of love about this is that there is that sort of ecru creamy, neutral beigey, but it's got some contrast with the white. It's just very relaxed, and I've done the pop of white. So that is my lightest neutral. I think there's something very soft about dressing like this because it's an element of being feminine by a colour palette.
Yes, you look nice and airy and fresh and light.
I feel it. I have to say, in this weather, I always choose, if I can, lace or broderie anglaise because your skin breathes through.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I got a few bangles, vintage, Prada and J. Crew.
Ah.
But just that, like, kind of not being too contrasty.
Yes, okay.
And then on my lips, I've just got Bella, so I've got very no makeup on.
No, Bella it's such a good neutral.
Okay, next outfit. I don't know if you saw my stories a while ago where I talked about some trousers that had a bit of a friend and a nappy. Anyway, I got them from Zara, and I got the whole, I've got the whole mannequin outfit on, okay, apart from a little cami. But there was something so drapey and beautiful, and actually when we were talking about neutrals and I was trying to get inspired, Lucy, this outfit committed me to doing neutrals because it was mixing unusually the sort of ecru creamy, very sort of goldeny with sort of grey, dove grey, but that whole combination plus again about the fabrication, that drapiness is what you're going for this continual look of softness.
Those trousers don't look as nappy-ish as they did on the mannequin.
No, because I think the lovely lady who was putting them on the mannequin put all the gathering at the front and created some extra friends, and I put the gathering at the back. As you can see, which will happen a lot with neutrals, is I'm beginning to look a bit washed out.
Okay,
So there's two things I will do. One is the introduction into my neutral wardrobe 90% of the time of pearls.
Well, why do you do that?
Because pearls give a luster, Lucy. They give this luster as only a pearl can give. And I can bring them round and have it closer to my neckline. But I am washed out. So there's two ways you go, all right? Either you go and you decide, I'm going to tan up, all right? Which you can do, but too much tanning with neutrals takes it away from its elegance. So I'm just putting enough Gaia on so it just brings some colour into my face and warmth into my face, like that, a little bit on the nose. So I've come to life a bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be very soft on the eyes, and I'm going to do a bit of fortune. And that just brings the warmth because I'm going towards the goldeny tones here. On the lips, I might just do, if I got it here, I might do like sheer shimmering bunny there. But then what I will do is I will add blusher. So I will then take a dear bit of my Sister Wigs and I will just add that warmth on there, which is that wonderful sort of peachy apricot shade, and then just take a tiny bit to my eyes. So now I'm not fighting. I've still gone the direction of full softness. Okay.
Yeah, and I love those goldy shades and how the shimmer of bunny, it just fits with the outfit exactly, like with the satin on the inside of the coat.
Yeah, and the mood of those fabrics, Lucy. You know, if I was doing this and I had a structured, I'll show you actually, and how my makeup might be different because the structure of the outfit, you've just made me have a new thought. Okay, Lucy, this is like going towards camel now. And I've got a few mix of colours on. So I've got my old Zara chiffony blouse, which is in that ecru. And then I've got this very old Helmut Lang coat with the white. And then I've got my M&M trousers and a white trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So this is hopping into the autumn. I would do gold necklaces, not pearls, okay? One is Essentials Antwerp and one is French Connection. But I like the tiny bit of black in them because I have the little black of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just that hint. So, Lucy, I could keep it all neutral and I could up the ante on the Bella, something like that. Or you have a flash of orange.
Whoa.
You know, and that changes the whole look. I'm wearing lip to cheek in Shasha.
Yeah.
But it makes it more modern, Lucy, and also it makes it a much more wearable colour for me.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I put on too much. Sorry. Gone mad.
You know, you always say that ecru is not your colour, but and I don't know whether it's because you've got a bit of a tan, but I think it looks really soft on you.
I think it's also because my hair went a little bit lighter. I don't know. I agree. It's also very nice light this afternoon. But so when we then look at the full picture, Luce, it's more impactful as an outfit, and it feels that tailoring more modern and fresh. Now let's switch out the orange. So I'm switching out where the orange is, Lucy.
Ooh.
Quite good.
I like it.
And also I'm just going to do bunny. And I'm going to amp up the Shasha with sheer shimmer and bunny over it. This is about making neutrals very sharp and unclassic and modern. I love orange and camel. I said that before. It's very light camel, but I think it works well.
Where's it all from, Trinny?
Okay, so this is my little secret shop up last weekend at Amanda Wakely. And then this is the very old Helmut Lang coat.
I love the sleeve.
I love the sleeve popping out, you see. I adore that.
Yeah.
You know, you're heading into the autumn. This to me is a great September outfit. You know what also is so nice, Lucy? I haven't worn this Helmut Lang coat, and I nearly put it in my first big sale to raise money for Trinny London, my second big sale to raise money for Trinny London. I nearly sold it last year. Thank God I still got it.
Yeah.
I've had it for 10 years. Bought in the Joseph sale at 80% off. I remember my bargains. So, Lucy, this is blush, being a neutral.
Yes.
Yep, okay. We've taken my top you all love, the old one I got for £12 from Zara last year, with a pink suit from Serena Butte. If we talk about it in the context of neutrals, this is really good on peaches and cream women, if you're wearing it as a neutral, peaches and cream women, or sort of really pale pinky tone skin women, you know, that softness. This colour is incredible on cool dark brown tones as well, but it wouldn't be their neutral.
No, of course.
Yeah, so I'm doing makeup now as if it's your neutral, and I'm looking at this, which is, you know, very soft, but this pink I'm looking at now, it suddenly feels, do you see it feels wrong?
Yeah.
It isn't soft enough, so I'm going to go and actually darken up my eye. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of Desire on, just to give me a little bit of a smoky eye, because when I do this look, I do actually quite like instead to make a slightly smoky eye. And then I'm just going to take a little bit and put it underneath, like that, with a little tea-kit, which is coming back, by the way, in September, ladies. And then I'm going to get Schmuggy, which is our Flush Blush, but I'm going to use it on my lip.
Oh, controversial.
I know, I love to be. Because I want the nude, but I don't want it to be too washing out. Put a bit of Schmuggy on my cheek. I mean, do you know what I'm going to choose? Sheer Shimmer and Dido. I want that soft, lovely pink, but I need a little reflection. And then I'll take the ends of it and put it there. So that to me is still really fresh, but it's a little bit more sexy to have a slightly smokier eye.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all my clothes, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. Okay, now we're in full-on blush land, and I want to say hush to a bit of blush. This was the second look I thought about for this, and I love these two together because I think there's a tonality there. This is literally the colour of my skin. And then these are a little bit too tight COS trousers. Even though the shape is nice with the crop, I don't think the trousers are flattering on me.
Is it the waist height because of your shape?
They're too tight, honey. I can see my camel, I can see a pool, everything. But I think just look at it for colour. If I look at them separately, I just want to make a point here of this little lace top because it's quite clever. I got this about 5 years ago from Joseph, and it became too small for me. So I got a little bit sewn in under the arm.
Yeah.
It was a much longer top, but I cut off a bit at the bottom so that I could take that extra lace to put it under the arm and over my nips, because I like to wear this with no underwear underneath.
Saucy.
Saucy, but it just means it's got full nip protection. There's an opportunity to play with sheerness of fabric.
It's definitely I agree. It's like an illusion, and the last thing I'd want to see under that is a white bra.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you the other thing I was going to put it with, because I wasn't
Okay.
sure, and I'd love to see what you think, ladies.
I love this.
You know, and I think I like the softness, because what we realise more and more that we're doing this, Lucy, it's that flow of fabric that's so important in this story. So now I've got those colours on. If you just look at the top half, you'd feel it's quite pinky, but I'm going to do something a bit dramatic. I'm going to take some courage and put it on my lip, and a waft on my eye. Because
A what?
a waft, darling, a waft, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But courage, which is on our eye to eyes, and you shouldn't really use it everywhere, but that's exactly what I'm doing now. Now when I take a step back, that relationship, you know, think about the makeup that goes with your bottom half to bring something and top and tail it.
I love that, Trinny. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I just want to show different skin tones, Lucy, but I don't have a top in this exact shade. But if you're sort of, you know, kind of from darkest olive through the caramels, this is a beautiful colour, what I call terracotta, as your nude. And just to keep, you know, the tonality, maybe pop it with a bit of white. And then, you know, makeup wise, you could do what I did before, the courage, which is to actually, the courage on this on the eye is just an amazing pop. And so, I mean, incredible, these on caramel skin tones. Just beautiful, because they are quite warm toned. And then I'm going to do just plain VB on my lip to cheek. So the shimmer is all on my eye area.
Ah, okay.
Imagine this is your top.
Ah.
Let's get creative now. You know?
Yeah.
Just, you know, that beautiful tone on tone.
You could make a scarf out of those trousers.
Thank you, Lucy.
There you are.
Thank you. You see there, it changes the whole thing. And imagine if I had some beautiful caramel skin tone, how divine this would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, last one. I just have to include this because I love Leopard as a neutral. And the best thing about Leopard, even though it's the first print I've introduced in this whole film, is that it carries so many different tones. So it's possible for every skin tone to embrace Leopard as a neutral part, because, you know, somebody who's a kind of lightest caramel like tan would take the darker bits. So I just think it works. But also as a neutral look for a dark skin tone, Empress on the eyes with a little bit of Katinka, and then Katinka on my cheek with Katinka on my lip. And I could probably do a base darker, like a munchkin lip to cheek, but just a beautiful way of doing neutral shading on a light brown onward skin tone.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. So this is a look for me I love, and you know I've worn it a lot, but I adore this as a neutral on deeper skin tones.
Yeah.
This works a treat.
I was just thinking about, you know, the shades, the neutral shades that I would wear, and I think what I figured in my head is the fear is that I would look naked.
Yeah.
So you're finding those shades that don't make you look naked. So by having that leopard with brown would still make it a neutral if you were of a darker skin tone.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't look naked.
You wouldn't feel naked, and
Yeah.
a leopard never hides the spots. But I think, God, that was so corny. But I think that it's a point. But also, like when I started, you know what's really odd about what we started with, which was that Zara top and bottom, is
Yeah.
how comfortable I felt to show my body. I worked hard on my body in the last few months, but still, I wouldn't have done that a year ago. And there's something about embracing this colour of our skin that's happening on every single level in our life, but also just of the sort of nudeness, going back to what the skin you're born with feeling, you know. It applies to me to everything. It's like when I see women who put on foundation, it's 2 shades darker than their skin tone because they want to look like they've got a tan. It's like, if you can do your makeup really loving your skin tone and then play with blusher and play with contour and play with a bit of eye to enhance your features and not make you feel washed out, whatever your skin colour is. I didn't tell you where this outfit was from, so very quickly. Zimmerman, which is a lovely Australian brand I got last year. And then this is one of the oldest bits of my wardrobe, but this is a 24 4-year-old Prada jacket.
Oh, lovely.
Lila has been desperate to steal this since as long as I can remember. It's the first thing she ever coveted in my wardrobe, and she's still coveting it today, and soon there will be a lock and key on this wardrobe because she's just sneaking in for 1 or 2 bits now. But Lucy, okay, next week. So, all right, darling, we've got so many requests, and we love your requests from last week, and don't think we haven't forgotten them. But on the agenda is Arms for Arms, which was the second most popular, so might be the one we knew next, but florals. Now, I looked at my florals, Lucy, and I don't have that many. 6 for 12 we could do. I've got metallics, which I feel might be more towards September.
I know. Well, it was definitely arms and neutrals, so that's great that we've covered that. I saw that green is still getting
Green is still strong, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, what else?
Well, you think about it, ladies, you know, because you throw in great suggestions. I have to take this coat off now, Lucy, because I'm going to boil.
Okay, thanks, Trinny.
Thank you, darling. See you soon. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Bye.